can brighten it up.
Hi, I'm Christian Metters, and this is my grandfather, Stanley Metters.
Yep.
Um, can you explain your profession, what you do, the company, what your duties are?
Work for Frito Lay. Um, I work for Frito Lay. My duties are to deliver chips to stores for to sell to customers, and I have uh, about, I guess, 10, 15 stores that I work. I got quite a few Dollar Generals, IGA, and a lot of convenience stores.
All right. So, what educational background is needed in order to perform this profession?
Well, at least a high school diploma. I mean, personally, I had, I didn't have no real training for it. I had more on the job experience I worked as a bread man for a little while too before I became a chip man and whatnot. But I think you just got to basically have at least a high school diploma and um, I guess the ability to be able to good in math because you have to be able to make out orders, count money. We used to get paid a lot of cash, but we don't accept cash anymore, so we get paid checks or money orders and stuff. So you have to have a pretty good understanding of, you know, uh, of adding and subtraction, multiplication, numbers. You have to be really good with numbers, and you have to have a good, be able to communicate well with customers. You know, you got to be able to relate to them, understand what their needs are, and supply their needs as to what kind of chips they need for, to sell to their consumers to make their money. So,
All right. So, do you speak Spanish at your job? If not, would you use it if you could speak it?
I don't speak it per se, but I understand some particular words. I know like, numbers, some numbers like 1 through 10 and things like that. Um, I know by being around Spanish speaking people, sometimes the gist of what they're talking about by hearing certain words they say. And yeah, if I could speak it, I would definitely think it'd be an advantage to me to, be able, nowadays, more so, no, I don't know about so much Spanish anymore as whatever the Hindu or Indian is more because there's more of them that own private stores nowadays. So, but Spanish would still be a good one as well. So,
So, would the use of Spanish in your profession benefit your business? If so, how?
well, it would benefit only because I would have a better understanding of what customers say to me when they come up and ask for something. I don't always know what they're saying, but I think just knowing their taste, by their background would help me a lot in what I order for particular stores, depending upon a lot of stores get a lot more, you know, um, Spanish or Mexican people than other stores do. So, knowing that, and like I say, you never know whenever some of their um, people who, cashiers and stuff, people who check in and do different things speak fluent Spanish. And I don't. So, they have to kind of speak what I call uh, segmented words, slowly where I can understand them.
Yeah.
So definitely would help.
So, does your job, do you have to distribute certain documents or anything in Spanish?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Some documents if we do, would be multiple. It would be English, Spanish, and possibly one other language for French or something. If there had to be other to make sure that everyone who may question it would understand whatever the document is. But for the most part, there's not a whole lot of translation that needs to be done because, we don't necessarily have to do that. Like I said, we don't have to do that. We deal basically with still English more than we do other languages because that's just the way the business has always been.
So does your profession exist in a Spanish-speaking country?
Yes, it does.
So
It exists
would
all
you-
around the world.
Would you move there to work your job?
I would possibly, yes, because I like some places, like in warmer climates, and a lot of warmer climates are in Mexico or South America or islands, and so it's feasible. I would if the money was worthwhile, but yeah, I mean, if I would definitely consider it if it was an option, but it would always, be based upon, something like say a place I want to be to live, or the money made it worthwhile, whatever. But yeah.
So if your profession exists in a Spanish-speaking, oh wait, I messed up. If your profession paid more money to bilingual employees, would you be willing to learn Spanish and use it in your profession?
For sure.
How much?
Anything that makes me more money, I would
How
definitely.
much money would it have to be in order to interest you?
At least probably 10, 15, 20% more than what I'm making, I would say, would definitely make it worthwhile to me.
So, a non-work related question: have you ever traveled outside of the U.S.?
Yes, I have.
And where would that be?
I have been to England, and well, that's basically where I've just been across the sea. Went to England and spent some time over there, but I haven't really been out of the country other than that. So
Did you have any
I get
encounters?
except for Mexico to the beach, but
Yeah.
I take it back. I went to Bahamas, so I guess consider I didn't think about that, but so
Yeah.
yeah, I am.
So, did you ever have any encounters which it would have been useful to speak Spanish while you were abroad?
Not so much over in England, but definitely in Panama. In Bahamas. I mean, they speak a lot of Jamaican down there, but that and Spanish go pretty close together, So
Yeah.
you know, so yeah, definitely.
Okay. In your opinion, what holds people back from learning a new language?
Not being able to speak it fluently with other people. I mean, if you can learn a language, but if you don't speak it every day to people, then it doesn't become a natural language to you,
Okay.
So
So, at what point do you feel learning a new language is necessary?
at what point do I feel it is? I think nowadays is because a lot of jobs require that because there's so many different nationalities in our world and in the communities we live in. So it's natural that you need to speak more than one language, but that's more easier for the younger generation than it is for my old generation. So
Yeah. So, did you take a foreign language class in high school?
yeah, we was required to take Spanish or something. We had to take at least something, and most people took Spanish. I think the other thing that was offered was French or whatever, but Spanish was the most common one that everybody took.
So, which language did you take?
I took Spanish.
What do you remember from the class?
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. I remember the numbers up through about 10, and si somos buenos amigos. Different certain, certain, what is it that they wanted, certain sentences they would give you to help you learn to speak the language, or to relate to someone. So, You know, I never got beyond, never got beyond just, you know, the basics. But there again, still today, I know when I hear certain words when Spanish people talk, and if I hear like a number in it or something, or you know, somos or buenos and things, I know what that word is,
Yeah.
and sometimes that helps me understand what they're probably saying.
So if you had to go back and take that class again now, would you approach it differently than you did back then? If so, how?
Well, I mean, I would approach it differently because now I see how it'd be more advantage to my life. Um, you know, so I would be more inclined to take more time to learn it. But I would hopefully, but also because I would be in an environment where more people speak it. You know, like say in my job and different things like that, where I hear Spanish people talking all the time, and a lot of times I'm like, I don't know exactly what they're saying, but I'd like to know what they're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely would go back now if I would, you know. But of course, at this point in life, it doesn't do me a whole lot of good. But yeah, I mean, I would if I was offered, if it was a opportunity for me to, you know, if I still had a lot of work life ahead of me, I would definitely want to speak a, you know, another language. Spanish would be the most obvious because that's the most common other language in the United States, second to English. So.
All right. Well, that concludes our interview.
Well,
Thank you for your time.
Well, I've got plenty of that.